Yo, what is going on, guys? You got Hikertoad here, bringing you CPC Week 5, and today we are going up against Aberforth, coach of the Newcastle Umbreons. Abe is definitely someone who's very good. He's in a few well-known leagues and all that, like MPL and GBA, but his battling skills are very good, and he likes to draft offense a lot and play very offensively and put pressure on the opponent. So definitely, just looking into the matchup, I really wanted to try and not get pressured myself, as this is definitely, I think, going to be a good game, as he's definitely very good in battling wise. So definitely not going to be an easy one. So I'll just jump right up into the teams, and he has the Victini, Swellow, Serp, Terrakion with the Z, Rotom Wash, Comfey, Steelix, Omastar with the Z, Zygarde 10%, and the Mega Tyranitar. So whenever I face Mega Tyranitar, I really hate facing that thing, as it's just annoying to kill. But yeah, just looking at his team, he relies on Rotom Wash a lot to deal with some of my main offensive threats, such as Tornadus Therian, the somewhat Nidoqueen to an extent, but not exactly, Starmie, Hardwell's Piloswine, and the Darmanitan as well kind of stops that. But so yeah, he kind of does rely on that for a few things, and keeping that healthy is definitely important for him, and just Volt switching out and keeping momentum, as I don't really have switch-ins for a lot of his breakers. Like Victini and Swellow, I don't have anything for those two. Like Victini can just kind of come in and get a kill whenever it does come in, unless I bring some really defensive Starmie or something, which in a matchup like this I don't think it's worth it, and I think it's just better off to try and pressure him myself, as I do think I have the tools to be able to just pressure him with my own offense and try and gain momentum through that, opposed to playing defensively and potentially allowing him to bring something that catches me off guard, which I really don't want to do. So just looking at it, I am bringing first mon. I have the Mega Mawile with Fire Fang, Knockoff, Player Off, and Sucker Punch. The spread is to be able to take a max attack, is to not get Twit KO'd by a max attack Swellow's Heat Wave if he's not Choice Specs. If he's Choice Specs, he just blows me away. But I definitely want to be aware of that, as something maybe a Silk Scarf could be something. I think he ran last week or the week before, so he could definitely be that, as I really don't have switch-ins to it either way, so I definitely want to try and do that. And Mawile is just really strong anyways, so I'm fine with just having less attack. And the Fire Fang is just for the Steelix, Knockoff is mostly for Victini, and Player Off pretty much hits everything, with Sucker Punch just allowing me to revenge Swellow. As Swellow, I don't have anything to outspeed Bar Scarfers, so definitely priority is definitely very useful against that. And like I said, I really need the Rotom to be pressured, and so I am holding the Grassium Z with the Grass Knot on Tornadus, as this almost OHKOs a just max HP Rotom Wash, as I think Fizdef will probably be more likely, opposed to Spadef, as Fizdef deals with most Torns other than this one with the Z Crystal, so I think this might not be something that he's expecting. So yeah, I just have the Grass Knot with the Hurricane U-turn superpower, hits pretty much his entire team for good damage, and I can gain momentum if I think if he has a designated switch-in that can actually deal with it or something, and to that nature. So yeah, not really just any reason for that, just I put max special attack and then the attack investment, because superpower blows away Tyranitar. All I need is just a little bit of chip, and I can just do some good work to his team, although Swellow always can come in and revenge me if I do get a kill with this, so I have to be aware of that. So next up, I do have the Starmie. Mainly brought it because I did want a way to spin away the hazards, as Tornadus and Darmanitan really don't like the hazards, and I want to try and keep my team as healthy as possible, as if I'm just U-turning all around and all that with just taking hazards, it's not really ideal. I prefer to just have hazards off the field, as well as this thing just pressures his team immensely, so it's not it's just here just for spin. He doesn't have switch-ins for this either. Maybe Comfey can potentially tank, or in maybe some sort of Spadef Rotom, but then I could just potentially run Psyshock, so it's Rotom isn't the most solid of switch-ins, depending on whether I run like Psyshock or Psychic, which I'm running Psychic here just because I think, like I said, he's going to be more Fizz Def on Rotom, and I'm not really worried about Comfey because looking at my roster, I have a Mega Mawile, I have a Nidoqueen, I have a Qwilfish, a Darmanitan, as well as the potential Taunt Tornadus, which can just completely stop it. So I'm not really worried about a Comfey. The only thing I'm worried about with a Comfey is it potentially U-turning on a predicted switch and getting him a kill with one of his wall breakers. I think that could be very effective. But otherwise, I'm not really worried about Comfey. I don't think it's the best. I think it has a pretty poor matchup in like terms of sweeping me. Like at least compared to other teams. Like my team's probably one of the best Comfey, anti-Comfey teams, so that's good. As last time I played Run, I think I got swept by it because I under-prepped for it, so yeah. Also, I didn't mention this, but on Mawile, I don't have Iron Head just because I'm not really expecting it, and Play Rough should be able to hit it hard enough anyways. So I have Darmanitan, and Darmanitan's so important in this game as, with the Choice Scarf, it outspeeds non-scarfed Victini, outspeeds Swallow, outspeeds non-Choice Scarfed Superior, which I think is the most threatening set versus me. It outspeeds a non-Choice Scarfed Drac, which I don't think he will be Choice Scarfed. Outspeeds Scarfed Rotom, which is the reason I have so much speed, because I really, like, no point in just, like, creeping like T-Tar, because it's, like, just a little bit slower, so I don't really gain that much bulk out of it, and there's no really point, because I'm not going to switch this in on much. Can blow away the Comfey, does a lot to Steelix, same for Almastar, as well as the Zygarde 10%, and it can revenge a Mega Tyranitar if it's a Dragon Dance variant, which is very good, although I do have some good responses to the Tyranitar in the back with Mega Mawile as well as the Girder, which I'm very happy to bring this week. But yeah, that's pretty much just here to get me momentum, and it's a really good late game win con after I can break his team with some of my Mons. And so now I have the Piloswine, which is pretty much this. I think this is the last Mon I put on the team. Mainly, it's just here to get up rocks, take a hit or two, check the Zygarde, and like check the Swallow, and like just do all that. And like, because Rock's chip is really good for Swallow, for the Victini, and just like chip on stuff in general. Like it invites in the Rotom Wash, and like Rotom Wash is really annoying, but I think I do. But my goal is to be able to pressure it, and like, I'm not really going to lead with this turn 1 to get up rocks, because Rotom is just such a good lead versus this type of team, and like honestly any team that I could have possibly brought, I think. So I'm definitely most likely not going to lead with this. Probably not going to lead with this, most likely. But yeah, it's just here to take a few hits and just, I'm not sure what the investment is. I think it might be for Swallow? No, I don't think it's, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't actually remember if this is for anything specific or if it's just like really Fizz Def. I don't know. I actually don't remember. I don't know why. I usually do. But yeah, that's my Piloswine. And so I have the Girder. It's amazing check to the Mega Tyranitars that really struggles to touch it, as I have the guts for the Rotom Wash, and I have a lot of Spadef to help take on the Rotom Wash, because this is pretty much my main Rotom Wash switch in, as nothing else really wants to come in on it. And I didn't want to bring alone a Exeggutor, which would be my other possible switch in, because like he just volts on that and he just gets a kill, while like with Girder, like it's bulkier and can like, and I think it matches up better versus his team overall. And it can check like pretty much any T-Tar with the Mach Punch. Drain Punch does a lot, knockoff hits pretty much everything. Like this hits everything bar the Comfey, which I'm not really worried about, which is why I have Bulk Up as the last slot, as as you might see by the rest of my team, like what I've been saying, I'm really not expecting Comfey. So I do have the Bulk Up as the last slot to potentially like Mach Punch clean at +1 if it's like really late game or whatever. As yeah, another option I could have potentially took with this team, just overall, I think I could have gone more Hazard Stackish, as I didn't mention this, but its only removal is Swallow, and I've heard and kind of seen how like Abe doesn't really like to run removal or like just use it because it loses momentum. And I think he's going to run defog on Swallow. I think Swallow's coming 100%. I think it's going to run defog because of the threat of sticky webs, and sticky webs can just completely ruin his team as they just slow down. If he doesn't have superior, that is. And like, I don't think webs are something that should 100% come, so I'm not sure if he'll like bank on me bringing them and bring like superior so it gets +1 instead of the -1 because of contrary. But yeah, that's something I could have potentially done. Just something to note, as well as with the Cofish with the spikes and T-spikes, which is something Styx took advantage of versus him in the previous week, I think. But yeah, that is the team. So I'll be right back with the battle. Yo, what is going on, my little tadpoles? If you skipped the beginning portion of the video, hi, I'll quickly go over my team and all of that, but basically I have a bit of Spadef 4 attack Small the Grassium Z Grassnot 4 attacks Tornadus T, Life Orb 3 attacks Spin Starmie, Choice Scarf Darmanitan, just Defensive Rocks Piloswine, and just bulk up 3 attacks Mixed Defense Girder. So with that out of the way, the team that Abe has brought is the Swallow, Zygarde 10%, Terrakion, Rotom Wash, Comfey, and the Mega Tyranitar. So looking at the team that he brought, very threatening first off, but he didn't bring the Victini, which actually kind of caught me off guard. I was like trying to look and see like what he didn't bring, but I was like, what didn't he bring? But it was the Victini, which I was a bit surprised at, as it really just threatens my team offensively, as I thought it would come pretty much 100%. So that's definitely interesting to see what kind of strategy he was going for this game. But he did bring the Comfey, which unfortunately means that Girder is walled by it, so that's a bit annoying. But I do understand why he potentially did bring it, as Girder kind of did destroy him otherwise if he did prep for that. But also, I think, I don't know, not really anything in specific besides just like him potentially U-turn pivoting with it is like the only thing I can really think of to help get him a kill with one of his potential breakers. So with that out of the way, I'm just going to get into the game, as I'm going to lead off with my Tornadus Therian, expecting the Rotom Wash lead, as I prepared for this sort of situation, as I don't care if he expects it, and I also like let's see, I don't care if he expects the Grassium Z Grassnot right now, as no matter what, I do get decent chip off on something. Like if he goes hard Comfey, that's good on him, but like I do get some momentum the next turn, as I can just U-turn on out. And but yeah, like I'd rather just have him go out to Comfey and me blow it than him just Volt Switch on me, like predicting him to predict it, as I've brought mostly Z Hurricane when I've brought in the Z move, so I think he might not expect it if he did do a bit of scouting. So I'm just going to blow it off right now, as he does stay in, and that is going to almost kill it, bring it down to 8%, as he's just going to Volt Switch out, do a bit of damage. I think it's defensive. I didn't really calculate, but just based on what he took, he was like max HP or something. As he has the guts, yes, he has the guts. Well, as you see, he doubles out there. Whoops. Okay, that's annoying when it does that, but yeah, it's gonna take a bunch of damage, and he's Guts Swallow, which I'm actually, I don't know, like, I feel like Spec Swallow does like a lot of work against me. It's like something that and A12 brought Guts as well, so I'm definitely interesting that they both decide to bring that, as I think Specs works potentially just as well. But yeah, but he does have the Flame Orb, as he actually does go ahead and double out right here, as that kind of makes me think he does not have the U-turn, more leaning towards he has like maybe potentially the Defog, Heat Wave, normal type attack, and then maybe a flying type attack, as he does make a good play and double into the Rotom, and potentially getting off a Will-O-Wisp or a Pain Split, as I'm just going to pivot out to Girder, as he actually reveals the Rocky Rest, yeah, he reveals the rest, which is really annoying, as that Z Crystal was pretty much just blew. I pretty much just blew my Z Crystal right there, which is really unfortunate, as now it's just at full health again. And he wasn't Chesto, so he seems to be some Rest Talk variant, which is really annoying to deal with. I'm just gonna knock off right here, He doesn't go into like Teraki or no way. That's not a play. Yeah, so I'm just gonna knock off its leftovers as kind of expected. As I'm gonna take this as an opportunity to get up my rocks because I really need to start chipping down his team. I can get up the rocks and then start threatening him afterwards. So looking at this, he goes for rocks. He either needs two things to kill me. He either needs to be banded and go for close combat, or he needs to go for the Z move and go for the Z. I think the Z Continental Crush kills. I'm not sure. I might not. But he needs to go for either the banded move or the Z move to kill me right here. And pretty much, I really don't have a switch in for this. And so I really want to kind of scout out his set right here. And I do end up just going for the Earthquake as I need information on this Terrakion, and I think that I can afford to risk my Piloswine at this stage, as it's just completely fodder for the Rune Wash as long as it's there. As he does set up his rock, so I am able to punish him for that, as he does on the following turn just go for the Stone Edge. He unfortunately misses. That could not kill, but it did get some good damage off on me, as now I'm on at a relatively healthy amount of health now, as I can just save it for later to potentially check something else, as Girder is a free switch into the Tyranitar as he does reveal the Dragon Dance. So crisis averted right there, as there's nothing he can do to me, and I'm not going to risk doubling or anything. I'm just going to fire off a Drain Punch right here, as he does reveal the Rocky Helmet on the which is why I said Rocky Helmet earlier. I was kind of thinking about that. Kind of revealed it if you thought that far ahead, like thought about it. But yes, he does go for the Sleep Talk, and he actually does get the Will-O-Wisp, which is unfortunate for him, as that does activate my Guts, as well as this reveals that he is Rest Talk with Will-O-Wisp and the Volt Switch. So he actually doesn't have a way to hit my Piloswine or potentially Nidoqueen that could have came, which is definitely, I think, very interesting, as it could have been a potential free kill for Nidoqueen. Although I do get it though, because like this is probably his Mawile answer, because he can outspeed Will-O-Wisp, but then like rest off the next turn or whatever. So I do like it in terms of like checking Mawile and all that. So I do get this. I like the set. It's actually pretty cool. I haven't seen a set like this before. As I'm just gonna knock that off, and now he's in range of the rocks. He still has one turn of sleep left, but I'm just gonna go for the Mach Punch and just kill him off right here. I don't really care if he switches out right now, because he just dies to rocks unless he defogs, which would mean he also gets rid of my own rocks. So now he's going to go into the Zygarde. I'm going to keep my Girder so I can check the potential Swellow as well as the Tyranitar, and I think Piloswine is ultimately just more useless in this situation, as I can just go for the Ice Shard. I don't really care if he like lives and stays and kills me. As actually, wait, that damage did reveal that he was banded, so he is a banded Zygarde for 10%, which is definitely good to know. As I'm just going to sack this to the Tyranitar, as I don't really care about Piloswine at this point. Ice Shard actually doesn't do that much to the Swellow with no investment, so I'm just going to fire off a Superpower. It's pretty free, as I can just fire off a free U-turn the next turn. Like, whatever he goes out into, I can deal with, so I'm not really worried about this. And basically, I'm just going to spin away the rocks right now, as this is what I've been wanting. I wanted to learn the Comfey, so I can just spin away these rocks, as the Terrakion died like 2 turns after it set them, so definitely I can just spin these rocks away now as well, as it actually de-seeds the Leech Seed, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the Sandstorm is going to go away. I'm just going to go into my Darmanitan and try and apply some pressure on this thing. If I'm like Life Orb or Banded, this thing will just drop, so I'm expecting a switch out, as well as if he did stay in, I just U-turn out and I can just go into my Mawile for pretty much no cost whatsoever. Like, even if he goes for like another Leech Seed, I don't really care, as I can pretty much just like fire off a hit, or just go back into Darmanitan or something. I can play around this. So I'm just going to U-turn, as he does go out into the Mega Tyranitar, which gives me a good damage, and I can just kill this off with the Tornadus T, or I can just U-turn on the incoming Comfey, which just gives me another kill. So he's just going to sack the Tyranitar at that point, as wasn't really useful. It wasn't really beating anything. So I can just bring him my Choice Scarf to Manitan, see what he wants to do versus it. As since I know that he's banded, I'm fearing a potential banded extreme speed here. And Tornadus is my least useful member right here, as it does not have the taunt for the Comfey, and it is outsped by the Swallow. So I'm fine with sacking it to the arrows right here, as I'm just going to go for the U-turn here, as I don't want to risk as pretty much if he went into the Comfey, if he went into the Comfey, I could U-turn out, and U-turning put him in range of the Flare Blitz, as he wasn't in Flare Blitz range before, as well as if he does indeed stay in, like I said, I get the damage off, and I can sack Girder, which I think is ultimately more useless, as it just dies as it can't touch the Comfey, and like I think I do have ways of dealing with the Swallow. Like both are pretty useless, but like I don't think but I think Torn is probably more useful than the Darm. I mean, Darm is extremely useful, as yeah, he's gonna Synthesis, as he knows that a Scarf Flare Blitz will kill him from that range. Like that does so much. I think he must have been like some Spadef or whatever, as he tries to just get recoil on me and just wear me down through that, as he's just going to go into Swallow now, and yeah, Choice Scarf Dominitan is just gonna kill the Swallow, as he does not show the quick attack, so he might have been, like I said, probably like the Defog, Brave Bird, Facade, and then like maybe Heat Wave as a last coverage move to hit them all well, as he doesn't want to be really walled by that. So good game to a very offensive game. I just managed to get the momentum and take advantage of his passive Mons. Well, his only passive Mon was Comfey, but I think I was able to take advantage of that Comfey. He actually said, he actually told me that half his team was dedicated to like beating Nidoqueen, so that definitely hurt him a bit. Like, I do get that though. Nidoqueen was fairly solid against his team, as well as it was a very good Terrakion check, as I left myself weak to Terrakion by not bringing it, but I did want that Piloswine over it. So yeah, that is the end of week 5. We are now 4-1 plus 13. I think I looked at the doc like a bit before recording this, but I think that is our current record. So halfway through the season, so hopefully we can keep it up. Next week we go up against the I'm actually excited about this. We go up against Miochi, who replaced Gopal King Damos. He quit Mons and all that to just focus on himself and all that. So definitely respect that. But we face his replacement Mio, who we faced in the D League last season twice, and are 1-1 against each other. So definitely going to be a good and fun match there. So that is all for this week. So peace.